Hey there viewers, my name's Torinski and welcome back to another DCSS Sunday. Today we're jumping back into the usual routine, trying to get a win with every species in the game, and where we last left off, we'd been struggling a little bit on our Octopode, but everything was starting to fall into place, everything was starting to come together, finally getting a hold of statue form, even dragon form and manifold assault, so hopefully today we can keep that upward trajectory going. Maybe, just maybe, get out of this with a win, bring us out of 0.28 with one final run. So without further ado, let's jump right into it with the good old doctor themselves. And of course, we had left ourselves here in Snake 3. Snake 4 was looking a little bit rough if we pop into it here, because we did have both Bai, Suzanne, and Vashnia. Vashnia was in the final vault area, so we're definitely going to have to figure out something there. By Suzanne, we've hopefully quarantined off into a different section of the map. But I think we will jump into it and try and break into this vault once again here. Let's definitely wait out the contamination that had beset us. One thing that I was really happy about, of course, if we hop into here real quick, is we have quite the mutation list, willpower being a huge one, and resistant to further mutations, so hopefully that will be about as far as things go in that regard. Up to 32 AC here in statue form, so things are looking pretty fantastic. Let's just take our time and be as careful as we can here, shall we? You, my friend, can come upstairs with us real quick. One of the few enemies here in Snake that we can actually use the classic OTR Ignite Poison combo on. Let's also refresh ourselves. Irradiate statue form, pretty huge. Lightning Bolt was one of our big sources of damage here, at least when it comes to non-poison attacks. But hey, if we keep getting poison buddies, then I don't mind too much whatsoever. And let's see, are you... well, that's not what I wanted to see there. You are immune to fire. Perfect. That's what I wanted to double check there. I don't think I can hit both of you with one fell swoop here, but that's fine. We'll just pop ourselves in a corner and let Irradiate do the rest of the heavy lifting, and that should be fantastic. Transformation is almost over, so let's pop that bad boy once again here and head towards the death zone. Only slightly terrified of what we may find here. I'm also very cautious about making too much noise, which is why we're kind of leading everyone off on these merry little goose chases, just to make sure that we're as safe as we possibly can from Bai Suzanne. And let's head once more into the breach, shall we? Well, that might be far enough. We'll make a bit of noise there with a lightning bolt and see where that leaves us. Fantastic. And definitely a nice warm-up start coming back into the game here. I was prepared for it to be an absolute nightmare, which, hey, don't get me wrong, still plenty of time for things to go sideways in horrendous fashion. But we'll hope not, shall we? And Bai Suzanne walks across the alarm trap as well. Well, now we have you stranded in a different place, but not really what we wanted to see. I guess we have this stairwell here, but we'll have to make very little noise coming in. Alternatively, we could back off for now and come back at a later date, which is very tempting. Hey Brinth, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I'm not sure if people outside of Canada have a long weekend. We do this week, so I'm very happy with that. We get tomorrow off. Don't have to go back until Tuesday. And hey, Gentax, Octopode Gaming, indeed. Hopefully we can stay alive. You also have a long weekend? Nice. I'm happy to hear it. Let's knock this down. I hope everyone who is being treated to a long weekend is having a fantastic one, of course. It's always nice to get that extra day. Fantastic. Working on some OBS overlay stuff. Will you chill? That sounds like a nice evening for sure. I guess depending on how much you're struggling against OBS features. I know that depending on what you're doing, it can be a bit of a pain in the rear sometimes, but always exciting at the very least, if you can get it working. And let's start heading in here, not taking my own advice and stretching this out to a different period here, and instead we're just gonna go for it and see how things turn out. In fact, I think we're just gonna walk away here so we again don't create too much of a kerfuffle within range of Hydropal themselves. We'll see how it goes. So Heatwave by Eugen Text, tempted to just go back to your hometown with AC jars away. I feel that. Yeah, I am already starting to sweat a little bit. As soon as I close my office door, it just gets ridiculously hot in here. Especially while I'm working, because when I'm working from home, which I get to do every, like, twice a week, I have my computer running, and that's what's supplying power to, like, my lights and things like that. But then I also have a little computer from work, and having 2 computers running in this room, have my door closed for meetings, just an absolute nightmare. So I think we're going to be trying to get our AC sorted at some point in the future. And it's more like you're struggling with graphic design than OBS. I feel that for sure. So we have no Phantom Mirror for Vajnia. If we can get them to come close to us, we're in a pretty decent spot. Even as is, we could just start lobbing lightning bolts and hope for some high rolls. Does mean a lot of noise and only 36% chance to hit, which is not great, for sure. If only you were vulnerable to poison, my friend. Well, let's see, what do we wish to do here? We can take a quick second while we peruse our options and decide on what course of action to take. I guess we can try for a lightning bolt. We do hit with 1, so that's kind of nice. Fortunately, Vajnia is not exactly stepping into range here. Can keep letting you fire on us, I guess, and see how that goes. There we go. And it's looking like we're just going to be leaving the vicinity here in just a moment, unless you give me some nice bounce shots with our lightning. Just enough luck to make me tempted to keep this going. 46% chance with acid, let's go for it. I do have to bring back statue form, unfortunately. Oof, oof, oof. Yeah, you've been surviving with ice cubes, I feel that. I'm still, one of these days I need to just bite the bullet and go through with testing out, like, hanging a bag of ice cubes off the back of a fan, because I hear it works wonders. It's like a very kind of janky form of AC, and it's definitely getting to that point here. We have big south-facing windows, so on a sunny day, the house just gets absolutely blisteringly hot. But let's throw out some ice blasts here. I probably should be thinking about just getting out of dodge. We can probably take 1 more hit. And in fact, if I throw a heal into it... Oof, oof, oof. Throw some mana, and let's see, I'm tempted to step up to you, because 1 Irradiate should pretty much do the trick. I guess even this is a double shot, or a bounce, with the lightning that doesn't hit us, so let's go for it. And there we go, we do manage to take out Vajnia, so that's 1 roadblock out of our way. Hopefully we didn't make too much noise. Guardian Serpent comes into view. Who do you have to bring with you? Fortunately, no one if we head upstairs, so that's fantastic. And why am I even bothering with the tab? Let's just bite the bullet in that regard as well. We also didn't check out our skills to begin with at the start of the stream today. We were training fire magic to try and get ignition online at some point in the near future. Of course, already trained some unarmed combat back in the dark days when we weren't sure of where to go. I'm just curious, how many rings do we have? So let's see, we're wearing the 8 and we have 2 more, so that's 10. No artifacts yet though, so still holding out hope that one of those will rear their beautiful face, and we can use that to our advantage. But who's to say what the dungeon has in store? You, my friend. Well, let's throw a rock at you, get your attention, and bring you up this way, shall we? Fantastic. And still only just slightly terrified for my very life if the big bad comes bouncing along around the corner. Turns out I can't speak either, but what else is new? And that should go just about perfect. But I mean, if everyone wants to come fight us on the stairs, then I do not mind whatsoever. I'm more than happy to oblige, as it were. And we can keep just bouncing with this buddy at the edge of our vision range until we get back to said stairs, our home base of sorts. And just blast you, my friend. Slow and steady. But especially at the start of our return to the character here, I always like to be a little bit more cautious. You never know when things are going to take a sudden turn for the most terrifying outcome. Now, where the heck do you kids keep your runes? Expected it to be at the very back here. I don't believe. Let's double check that I didn't already grab this. No, we're still looking for the Serpentine rune. That's good. So this would have been an embarrassing amount of risk to put ourselves through for nothing, but there we go. Fantastic. And we can get the heck out of here, shall we? Why do we keep returning to the game? Ah. Why, hello, by Susan. Are you fast? I feel like you might be fast. You're not, so if I end transformation and just keep walking, what are you going to do about it? Fortunately, we don't have to worry too much about any status effects or whatnot. Also, as long as no constriction comes our way, we'll be sitting pretty, and there we go. So that's 2 runes down and feeling good about it. Let's take a victory lap by heading all the way back up to Lair, and we can clear Lair 6 now that we're quite a bit stronger than we last were. Oh, and Lair 5 apparently. Was I leaving someone here? Ah, Rupert. Well, do I think I can fight Rupert now? Maybe? I don't feel great about it. So, is this what we wish to do? I guess the other option is if we have a downstairs, which we do have one up here, and if we check, where did I last see Rupert? Way the heck over there. So there's a chance that we can just kind of mosey our way down to floor 6 and not have to deal with life's problems whatsoever, and that will be just lovely. Fantastic. And let's just make our way through here, shall we? Good amount of explosions, never hurt nobody. We can block off the door real quick as we just clear out the rest of the floor here in the safest manner we possibly can. And I mean, if they want to send more yak packs at us, then I would be more than happy to oblige by that. Just beautiful. Well, and onwards we go. Might as well just work off that contamination, and I guess we were using IMB to kill hydras at first, but now we have lightning, so let's just cut out the middle person, as it were, and even just use irradiate as well. That works fantastically. Just beautiful. It's nice being at a slightly more comfortable spot in the run, for sure, to say the least, seeing as how there were many struggles in trying to get this character up and running. And I'm sure there will be more as we continue on here. It's never quite as straightforward as you'd like it to be. Oh, hello, Blink Frogs. If you could all come right this way. You gotta love fighting Blink Frogs. Pretty much up there at the same echelon as Yak Packs when it comes to a statue form user like ourselves. And that should be just about perfect. And speak of the devil, when it comes to Yak Packs, hello my friends. And no, I don't have the uptime. Subtext. We have just been around for about 18 minutes or so you're here in the nick of time to experience it all firsthand and watch ourselves hopefully not get horribly murdered by my own mistakes, but hey, no promises. And not too shabby. just make our way through. We're pretty close to where I'm just going to drop the sword. Unfortunately, the rapier that we're using is currently giving us some extra willpower and, I guess, lightning resistance, or electricity resistance rather. It doesn't matter too much when you have statue form around, so that's a bit less of an argument, but the 2 pips of willpower that we get from this son of a gun are absolutely huge. That's what's keeping us safe and sound. We'll get rid of this final exclusion though, and let's pop in, shall we? Do I have cold resistance? I do not, but that is very easily remedied. Switch off our Ring of Fire or another resist cold, and that should be just about perfect. Even coming out of statue form at the end isn't quite enough to bring us down. Kinda wish we were fighting against more so regular enemies than all these fancy sons of guns, but it is what it is. I guess this necromancer-themed elephant vault is all we know. You know what else doesn't care about Arlek? Octothor, lightning slappers only. So yeah, no storm form yet. That's also definitely on the agenda, hopefully. But at the very least, we do have dragon form and manifold assault, so we're on our way, regardless. We're up to 7 spell levels now as well, so I think that means we can learn dragon form, right? It does. So I will. Fantastic. We still need 5 spell levels for manifold assault, and we need a little bit of extra translocations training for when we do want to get that poppin'. So let's pop on some training in that department real quick, and we can continue fighting our way through the zone here. Where the heck did you go, my necromantic friend? There you are. Well, normal elephant simulacrum, oh never mind, isn't even going to come up. I was about to say is something that we've already faced in even worse form, the dire elephant simulacrum, but I guess the game had other things in mind for us, and I don't have good AoE at the moment, do I? Not exactly. I guess, never mind. I forgot that we had OTR, Ignite Poison, so dire elephants shouldn't be too much trouble, and that is just a wonderful bit of damage. Just have to take out the undead son of a gun the old-fashioned way. I should stay in statue form just in case things start to get a little bit hinky, but fantastic. And onwards and upwards. I would like a lightning rod, as a matter of fact. Staff of Air can probably hit the deck for the moment here. I'm not going to worry too much about dealing with that son of a gun. I guess there could be some treasures there. Don't currently have anything that can hit off screen. This is where something like Fulminant Prism would be quite nice to have in our oeuvre here, but not the end of the world. We'll just step away from our Rust Devil friend, wait out a few turns, and head back down. Yes, chain summon out using point blank radioactivity, or as people in the old England call it, the old fashioned way. Exactly. Glad somebody gets it. The only way we know how, really, at the end of the day here. And hello, my friend. Simuna grants us a gift. You do love to see it. Let's check what we get out of there. Firestorm. I saw Conjure Ball Lightning and I got excited, thinking that it might be a lightning themed book, and maybe, just maybe, our source of the one and only storm form, but we'll have to wait that out for just a bit longer here. I mean, it's not like I'm exactly itching at the bit when it comes to ways to deal with our enemies here. We're doing quite alright, as it were. And OTR and Ignite Poison is just too much fun. That shouldn't even be allowed. Let's see, behind the obsidian statue is just a book. Book of Unlife. It does have Broider's Vile Clutch if we wanted to go that route. But, you know what, I'm pretty happy with where we're at here, so I think we'll just be heading our way out of here, safe and sound. And where do we wish to go next? Do we head to vaults? Start clearing our way through there? It'll be a nice amount of experience, potentially some good treasure. It's not bad. And I do personally enjoy going to vaults before depths, at least for the most part. as a general rule of thumb. So let's start heading in that direction and see if we can't keep ourselves alive, shall we? Fantastic. You kids actually do fire damage? You do with fire breath. And ignite poison is not going to be great against these kiddos, so maybe we just go for an early irradiate there, keep applying poison to the rest of these sons of guns as much as we possibly can, because that definitely does the trick in wonderful fashion, even with their healer in the back line. Not going to be quite enough to put a dent in us. Though as we run out of magic, maybe we'll play it just a wee bit safer here and bring our new friends home with us. Fantastic. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with vaults. This is a decent array of what we expect to find down here at the very least. Oh geez, this dire elephant takes a bit of a punch to get down, but we managed to get there at the end of the day. And a scroll of holy word. I mean, nothing to ID. I don't know how much we have left ID in general. I guess one more potion. So let's just drop those sons of guns for the holy word. And that should be just about perfect. And let's take these sons of guns out. It's nice not having to worry about willpower for the rare occasion here. Especially with these sons of guns and that Sentinel's Mark. I feel like that's something we've been very much fighting against recently in our attempts to come to vaults, but no such unfortunate luck this time around. And we'll just keep blasting all of our new friends here with just about as much poison as we can pack into their veins. And hello, is Saint Roka around, or are you kids just hanging out on your own? Honestly, feel kind of sorry for you if you didn't have a glorious leader bringing you into battle, because unfortunately baby orcs just aren't quite gonna cut it in this day and age. And there's all the fire damage. I knew it would take us by surprise when they did eventually start using that flame breath. Unfortunately, you know, I was about to say our only source of fire resistance is the Ring of Fire, but let's double check that. Oh, and a staff, but neither of which is exceptionally useful for us at the moment. So we'll just have to keep winging it by the skin of our teeth here and hope that nothing too sketchy comes about. Did see a shop up here, so that is definitely going to be worth the trip. Oh, I got excited because it was Jewelry's shop. Still not bad. Could get a Ring of Fire Resistance, which is exactly what I was just complaining about. Ring of Willpower also is a huge one for when we do eventually want to switch off of our rapier here. I do want a little bit of everything. Let's start off, though, with the Ring of Fire Resistance. We can swap off our Ring of Fire for that son of a gun. Run back to the stairs real quick, because I did want to do a small test. If I go dragon form, I'm still allowed 8 rings. Okay. I mean, that's pretty awesome. That gives us decent resistances across the board. 500 gold for RF, highway robbery. I mean, when you're trying to get by in this economy, sometimes you just have to take whatever is handed to you, even if it is a bit of a snake oil proposition. Let's just absolutely slam these orcs real quick. First little test of dragon form is a resounding success, even though that's hardly a surprise, I guess, at the end of the day. And otherwise, we'll still mostly be using statue form just to give us a nice mix of defense and offensive capabilities here. And that should be fantastic. Oh, we're so close to leveling up. In just mere moments here, we can get ourselves up to Manifold Assault as well, which is definitely going to be a nice little upgrade for our dragon form needs, as it were. Let's just blast through these sons of guns as quickly as we can. Or, you know, in near-death fashion, that works too. Maybe a little over-dramatic calling that near-death. Not exactly the end of the world. We also have only a 9% failure rate, or rather only a 91% success rate on Divine Exegesis, so at some point we're going to have to train a bit more invocations, because I'm hoping to use that on some life-saving abilities, which we don't have yet, but the high-level necromancy spells, things like Death's Door and Vivification, should both be huge contenders for our spellbooks moving forward into the future. And very much looking forward to that indeed. Let's swap off one of our cold resistance ring for another fire. And that puts us in a much more balanced state here. Loving the resistances. Feeling way more confident than I should, which is always dangerous. I mean, once you get Dragon Telefrag, just max unarmed, right? That is pretty much the plan indeed. Fortunately, we have a bit of a head start in that department, so I'm very happy with that. And should do us well in the coming battles, as it were. Scroll of Acquirement. Ooh, don't mind if I do Artifact Ring? Maybe? Ooh, there is an Artifact Ring. So the +2 Hat of Stealth, +8 Lagitang of Postmodern Friends, +8 Vampiric Lagitang. Holy moly. If I wasn't obsessed with shields and probably gonna end up turning myself into a dragon or a storm for the foreseeable future, then that would definitely be a high priority item. As it is, I think I'll just take the Willpower and Fire Resistance Ring. That's a beautiful combo, even with -2 Intelligence. Not exactly a deal breaker, and that is just wonderful. So, what do I swap off? Do we keep our current protection from fire? Postmodern Friends, you never see them because they always cancel, and then you realize how much time squandered in college. Too real, too real. But okay. At some point I have to actually make a decision here. So, could just drop Staff of Poison for now. Could drop second Cold Resistance Ring, though I feel like that might come in handy for when we do start going Dragon form a bit more often. Magical Power, I guess, is only temporarily helping us out here. Okay, second Magical Power Ring, unnecessary. See Invisible, we can swap to in our times of need, so let's do that. We don't lose too much cast percentage on the -2 Intelligence, so we'll happily just wear that one moving forward here. And of course, as soon as we take off See Invisible, we do in fact find an invisible enemy, but I'm not too concerned about it at the end of the day. One baby little wizard isn't exactly enough to break the bank, but that is pretty much the entirety of Vaults 1 here. And feeling all right about it. Even with this this mark trap, we at least have cut off the majority of our opponents here. And there's the wizard. Fantastic. First try. I mean, not exactly the most Oracle-esque predictions that I've made, but still happy to see it. And ooh. Definitely don't want to be failing any sorts of statue form casts throughout the course of our run here, but not the end of the world. And ooh, thank you, Sifmuna, for the gift. I appreciate it. One final blowout here, and that should do the trick. And Storm form? No Storm form. Lahudib's Crystal Spear, though, if we do end up going like the Spellforge Servitor route, we could definitely get that sorted one way or another. Hello, my friends. Let's definitely blast through you. This other ooze could sleep through the apocalypse. They were just happily living their life, just passed the heck out. Almost feel bad for waking them with all of our commotion here. But not bad enough not to absolutely trounce them at any given opportunity. Fantastic. And so I'm feeling pretty good about vaults. I think we will continue here. Fire magic is also up to 15, so let's see where that leaves us on that ignition, buddy. If we quickly scroll down here, 45% failure, so it's coming along. We'll definitely have that up by the time we're going for Rune 3, which is pretty much the be-all end-all of why I'm training it, especially if we go to either Vaults 5 or if we go to Slime. Both cases, that becomes exceptionally useful for the whole, you know, keeping ourselves alive thing.